You think that you're waiting on your specific person, but really they're waiting on you. You think that you're waiting on a text message or a phone call or a date, but still they're waiting on you. Because if we take a moment and think about manifestation, who's the only one in control of everything in your reality? The answer would obviously be you. So if we feel as if there's something outside of us that needs to give us permission in order to be with our specific person or to manifest anything we could want, how could that be possible? Everything is a reflection of you. And a lot of times we fall into this illusion when in reality, all we have to do is give ourselves permission for whatever it is that we want, and we'll see it show up in the exact way that we desire. And a really good way to think about this is how A Course in Miracles words it. And it states, you do not need God's blessing because that you have forever, but you do need yours. Meaning your reality is constantly and always trying to give you everything that you want. It's immediately and always loving you enough to try to reflect exactly what you're assuming. So we just need to give ourselves permission of exactly what it is that we desire. So whether that's a text message, which obviously is in the middle, which is a how, or marriage, or being with our specific person, hanging out, dating them, whatever it is that we want, our reality has already given us permission for that. There's nothing it can actually do extra for us, but we can do a lot for ourselves. We can begin to give ourselves that blessing. We can bless ourselves with whatever it is that we want, but we have to just allow ourselves we need to give ourselves the blessing so that we can enter into the state of whatever it is that we want. Because the only difference between your specific person not texting you now and them blowing up your phone is an internal state. It's an internal blessing. It's the acceptance of a state of being the individual that already has it. That's the state, and that's the assumption that we want to get to in order to change our reality. So you could ask yourself, am I giving myself my blessing to do blank? Am I giving myself right here, right now, the blessing that my specific person will text me? Or am I giving my reality the blessing that they ask me out? Or am I giving my reality the blessing that they propose to me? Because everything just is permission on your reality for you to feel and assume a certain type of way in order to see that outside of you. Because if you are asking yourself these questions and you don't really feel like you're giving yourself permission, ask yourself why or why not, right? If you are giving yourself permission, that's awesome, that's amazing, then you're allowing yourself to feel into the state. But if you're not, you feel as if there's something between you and the state that you're desiring, and usually we end up displacing that idea onto our external reality, thinking that something else is stopping us from actually achieving it. But there is nothing stopping you except yourself. And you can actually, what I think is really fun kind of extra thing to do is to write like sticky notes to yourself around your place, basically giving you approval status. Some examples could be to write up approved to be loved, approved to receive miracles, approved to be chosen without effort, things like that, just to remind yourself that you are the only person that needs to give yourself permission. You could also make these into affirmations like, I give myself approval to be loved, or I give myself approval to receive manifestations or miracles, or I approve myself to be chosen without effort, because that is just a permission. The identity of being chased, the identity of being desired, the identity of your specific person texting you now, the identity of your specific person constantly blowing up your phone, texting you constantly nonstop to where it's annoying, that's just an approval. And sometimes this idea can even give you the essence of divine guidance, because if you were to ask yourself in this moment, if I were already blessed, if I already had all the permission I needed to be with my specific person, what would I do? What would I think? How would I act? And we'll realize it was just that permission that blocked us. Because normally, every time I ask these questions to individuals who are manifesting their specific person, they know the answer. They know what they would think, they know what they would believe, they know what they would do if they already had their specific person. But when asked why they don't do it, usually the answer is never a very concrete one. They usually don't know why. But it is permission. We're just not allowing ourselves to feel a certain type of way. We feel attached to a specific version of our own ego or a sense of self that we don't necessarily want to give up on. But it's all permission. Right? Just allow yourself to do this. Because another thing you could do is after your journaling prompts to kind of add this idea of permission or blessing to your reality. After all of your journaling prompts, write down approved and anointed by me, exclamation point. or something like that, right? Approved by me after every affirmation that you're writing down, or every affirmation that you say as well. My specific person is obsessed with me, and this is approved by me and God or whoever you want. Because technically, like I said at the beginning, just to kind of reiterate that original quote, you do not need God's blessing because that you have forever, but you do need yours. God already wants to give you what you want, or your reality or your universe, however you want to state it. It's already waiting to give it to you. You technically already have it. Neville Goddard would massively disagree with anyone who states that they don't already have it within your mind. If you can see it in your imagination, then you can absolutely do it. And another kind of added effect to this, because sometimes still the idea of permission makes us feel like it's connected to something outside of us, but I would just have to ask you, who told you you can't have this? Who said that this can't occur? If you're thinking about manifesting communication from your specific person today, who said that can't happen, right? What is stopping that, right? Whose permission do you need but your own? And the best way I like to think about it is always this idea that we're never changing anything outside of us, but becoming the individual that already has it, no matter what. So, and again, your specific person, whether you think so or not, is waiting on you. They would be perfectly fine with marrying you today if you allowed it. And the only reason we see a separation in our 3D reality is because we think we have to change their mind or alter them or change something outside of us. But if you show up, again, all internally as the individual that they're obsessed with or that they love or that they want to marry, they're going to immediately respond in that way. Because of course, think of it in reverse. If your specific person showed up to you right now and wanted to get married, of course you would want to do that. They are the version in your end state that you want. And so there would be no discrepancy between that. They think the same exact way towards you. And so we just need to understand that. Because no one told you that you can't do this. No one told you you can't manifest a text message. I mean, maybe some people have limiting beliefs that might have tried to displace on you, but really the only person telling us yes or telling us no is going to be ourselves. And you can see, as you begin to allow yourself permission, you will see differences happen very quickly in your reality. When I'm talking night and day, when I'm talking right after this video, receiving phone calls, messages, different responses in your reality, signs, all of that is just waiting for you. And I'll give you an example of this. So this is someone I worked with on a phone call, and they wrote immediately that their specific person, after utilizing this idea, getting into the state and what we talked about, their specific person started immediately viewing their stories every time that they posted them. So think about the change that happens in our reality based on giving ourselves permission. Of course, this isn't their end state, and of course, they're still manifesting more because obviously they don't just want their specific person watching their stories, but everything must happen in a bridge of events, meaning it's going to make logical sense to our subconscious mind, or our logical mind, if you will. And so when we think about it in that way, we know that this is perfect, and the permission is allowing their specific person to show up in the way that they wanted. They're basically accepting the reality that their specific person is trying to come to them, trying to give them attention, trying to text them, trying to call them, trying to date them. All of that is trying to be done by their specific person, and we just needed to allow it. And that's where then permission creates things like this to occur, because it was waiting for you the entire time. It goes back to the first thing that I said in this video. You're not waiting on your specific person. Your specific person is waiting on you. You're not waiting on your reality. It is waiting on you. Everything you could ever want and imagine has already been blessed and given to you. We just need to accept it. And sometimes it feels like it's connected to our sense of self, meaning we don't feel as if we're worthy enough to get an immediate text message from our specific person. But remember, in the same idea of permission, worthiness is the same exact way. You were born worthy of everything you could ever want. That could never be taken away from you. You just need to understand you are worthy in order to receive it. And when you start acting this out, you're going to see your specific person watching your stories more, texting you more, calling you more, hanging out with you more. You're going to see them become obsessed with you, right? Like the idea that they can't get enough of you. They want to meet up with you and talk to you and see you every single moment of every single day. But it always is an internal state. Never think of it as happening to, or Nothing outside of your reality is happening to you. You are happening to your reality. So don't give permission. Don't give the permission slip to be signed to someone else in your reality or something in your reality, because it's you that needs to sign it. So ask yourself, do I have my own blessing for my specific person to show up today? Do I have my own blessing for my specific person to be obsessed over me? Do I have my own blessing for my specific person to fill in the blank of whatever it is that you want? And I would actually comment that. I give myself the blessing for blank. Whatever it is, if it's marriage, communication, breaking of long distance, ending of a third party, whatever it is, even though that is the how, you can still give yourself the blessing to reach that and enter into your end state. But the more you think about it and the more you comment it, the more it's going to align with your subconscious mind, making everything so much easier. Because sometimes we just need to verbally write it out, or verbally say it, or physically write it out in order to see that change. Because contemplation is one of the easiest things to end up in your end state, but really, you just have to give yourself your own blessing, because your specific person is waiting on that. If you did have any other questions as well, kind of relating to this, or maybe even something else, make sure to comment it down below. Also, if you wanted to reach out to me with a personal question, a personal coaching, or anything like that, make sure to head over to kyleaugustcoaching.com. That's where you can reach me personally. If it was something that you didn't want to post publicly, I did recently receive a couple questions that someone did not want to post publicly, so I'll be making a video of that in the future. But anything like that, definitely reach out to me. If you have any awesome updates with your specific person, or a cool manifestation, or anything like that, I always love hearing those as well. So definitely reach out to me on that, or even better, comment it down below to inspire everyone on their manifestation journey. But as always, thank you so much for stopping by today, and I can't wait to see you in my next video tomorrow.